Hi Neera, it is great to meet you. You must be so busy managing the Elephant and Castle upgrade project, and there must be so many great things to love about your job. But what is the one thing you love the most?
So working for TfL, I think naturally working for something that impacts the city is like really the exciting part of it. But for me, it's the fact that every day I learn something new because so working on Elephant and Castle, for example, it's a multidisciplinary project and my background's predominantly mechanical. So I've got to learn about so many different things and every day I'm Googling or trying to go through my old lecturing notes to find out stuff. And so it's really like that's the most exciting part, the fact that one day I might be doing something to do with, heavy civils like pipe jacking, which I've never even done before. And another day I'm looking at, human factors aspects on how the station's going to operate and stuff. So I think for me, it's just the fact that no day is the same and everything's so different and I'm learning so much constantly, but also the fact that I'm actually impacting the city at the same time by doing all this. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it sounds very cool. And as a university lecturer, I'm very glad that you looked at all notes as well. That's very good. What made you get into engineering in the first place?
So I always say it's kind of like a really unconventional way I got into engineering because when I was growing up, I was in a predominantly female household and my dad probably didn't even know what engineering was properly, I guess, and I don't have any family in it. So it was really kind of, I came to it by chance, by literally just Googling. And when I was in college, basically, I had to fill out my UCAS application. And I think I went through about 30 different things that were involved with like art and maths and all these random things, and I came across mechanical engineering and I took my dad to the open days at university and he was just like, what the hell, is this really what you want to do? Because he'd never heard me say that I wanted to do it. But it was really just through reading and researching and the internet basically that I found out what mechanical engineering was and what it meant to do it in industry after my degree. And it sounded like something I would like. So I took the gamble and just went and studied it at university. And like I'm so lucky that it's almost like the perfect fit for me, but I just didn't really know it until a lot later down in my like educational life.
What is it about engineering that attracts that sort of challenge mentality, do you think?
So I think the thing that always made me kind of feel it was really interesting is the fact that you're solving problems, number one, but also the way you solve those problems can be so varied. And I actually really believe it's a creative role because you have to think of different ways to do things. And if something's been, so for working at TfL, things have been done the same way for hundreds of years. And sometimes, they don't work or things need to change because we've got new technology. So it's kind of like thinking out of the box, like how can you do something a little bit more different? Or, how can you, like slightly put your twist on it? And that's why I kind of love it because it's really technical and geeky and, maths and physics orientated, but then it's really like cool and creative and, you get to try out new like processes and come up with all these wacky like workshop ideas and stuff. So it's like for me the best of both worlds, I think.
You're making a difference. I mean, and that's what engineers do, don't they? You're an amazing difference maker. I mean, do you realize how much of a difference maker you are?
I think not really, because I feel like it's never really taught to, especially in this country and for women especially, like to boast about what you do, or I guess to even recognize what you do. And it's things like the YWE awards and all these other awards that all these institutes do. And when you have to actually put down on paper and write down everything you've done, that's when you sit back and think, oh wow, like I didn't realize I'd done so much or accomplished that much. But I really have. And I think that's why these types of things are really important, just for yourself, just to think, oh, wow, like I've done so much I didn't know I did.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's for you, but actually for you being a role model. I mean, you will be an amazing role model for so many young people as well, which I think is lovely.
Yeah, it's great. And, I kind of always think back, like, who are the people that have, when I look at watch TV or, do my research on the internet, all these people that I've looked at and thought, oh my God, that's amazing. Wow, I'd want to do what they're doing. And it's quite a nice thought to think, although I'm really early on in my career, if I can even just do that for one young person in a school, if I want to do STEM events or in the future, like that's just, it's on a full 360. So it's like a nice idea.
Well, as you know, at the IET, we celebrate difference makers all the time, but especially in our 150th anniversary year as well, we get to sort of shine a light on difference makers all over the world. was there a sort of one specific difference maker that inspired you when you've been growing up?
So I think because I didn't really know about the whole engineering world, I think I've more had, so Roma Agrawal, she's a structural engineer, but she's more been the difference maker for me since I've been in industry. So I think during my university and college days, I was a bit all over the place, didn't really know anything or didn't have a plan. But since I've kind of been in the industry, I've been opened up to so many different amazing men and women in the engineering industry. And Roma for me is such a great role model because it's easy to kind of look at someone that looks similar to you and think, I can do what you're doing. And the great thing about, I think, Roma is she's not just an engineer. So she's a fantastic engineer and she's worked on the Shard, which is so cool. But she's also been in an M&S leading ladies adverts, and she's done TEDx talks and she's written a book. And so for me, she is the 21st century modern female engineer, and it is just so great to see it. And she literally, everything new she does, I'm there for it. And that's kind of the thing that I think is amazing about her.
Yeah, and she's a mother as well, which she's got parenthood in there as well. She's got it all going on, hasn't she? And I think it's really important to recognise that engineers are normal people as well, and we have families and we do other things, and we want to inspire other people. I think that's a really important part of our job, and it shouldn't be just an add-on. It should be very much part of being an engineer is being out there and inspiring people.
Yeah, and I think that's the more of those role models that we get, and I guess the more that people are open to talk about it, because there must be loads of people balancing home life and work life, but maybe people just don't express it enough or talk about it. So the more and more people talk about it, the more I guess the younger generation of engineers coming through will understand that's the norm. And I think that's the great thing about, I guess, engineering now, because it is happening. People are talking. So yeah, it's a really nice conversation to have.
Yeah. What would you say then if you were having that conversation with a younger person who was maybe thinking about going into STEM?
I would say 100% go for it, because if someone like me, who didn't even know probably what an engineer really was until I basically applied for the course at university, can do it and I'm really enjoying it. If you're even just thinking about it, you'll 100% enjoy it. And it's so varied. You can't, you could be doing anything. If you love marine engineering, medical engineering, railways, it's so varied that I definitely believe there is an engineering job out there for every single person that wants to do it. And that's the great thing about it.
Thank you so much, Neera. It's such a pleasure to talk to you. I wish we could talk more. Congratulations so much on becoming a finalist of YWE. You should be super proud of yourself. You're a massive difference maker. So thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you so much. It was lovely speaking with you.